Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem when he stopped at a certain village. It was in between Galilee and Samaria. And when he got there, there was 10 men with leprosy who came to him. They shouted, "Master, have mercy on us!" Jesus turned around and shouted back at the men, "Go and show yourselves to the priest." The men looked at one another and said, "All right, we'll go ahead and do what he said." When they were on the way, they realized that they were all healed. But one of them, a Samaritan, decided, you know what, I'm going to go back and thank God for what he's done. So he turned back, and on his way, he praised God the whole time. When he got to Jesus, he knelt before him and thanked him. Jesus looked at the man, then he looked around and said, "Weren't there 10 of you? Where are the other 9? You're a Samaritan, yet you're the only one that has come back to thank God." Jesus then helped that man up, looked at him and said, "Go, your faith has healed you." A little while later, Jesus was teaching a crowd of people about the importance of not being discouraged in prayer. He told them a story about a certain judge. This judge did not fear God, and he was unconcerned with the people. In his town, there was a widow who kept coming to him, and she said, "I want justice from the court. There's a man that has wronged me." The judge refused to help this woman, didn't even pay her any attention. The widow kept coming back. Finally, the judge said, "I don't care anything about this woman, but you know what? I'm going to help her because I'm just so tired of her bothering me." Jesus said, "You ought to have that same determination when you go to God in prayer. Yet you have an advantage over this widow. She has a judge who cares nothing about her, but you have a heavenly Father who loves you and wants to help you." Jesus began to teach another crowd when he realized that some of them thought that they were better than others. So he told them this story. He said, there was a Pharisee, a man who was honored by everyone, and there was a tax collector, a man who everyone hated, because they thought that he was a traitor to the nation. The Pharisee walks in the temple, goes to the most important place in that temple, kneels before God, and says, "God, I thank you that I'm not like everyone else, like those that are greedy and dishonest, those that are unfaithful to their wives. I especially thank you that I'm not like this tax collector over here. I fast twice a week, God. I give 1/10 of everything that I own." Then the tax collector stood off to the side. No one else was around him. He wouldn't even look up to heaven. Instead, he was pounding his chest in shame. He said, "God, I know that I'm a sinner. Have mercy on me." Both men went home that day, but only one of them was justified. It was the tax collector, not the Pharisee. For he who exalts himself will be humbled. He who humbles himself will be exalted.